A quick message to viewers watching in Fresno. ABC-30 viewers are seeing us here in LA due to some technical difficulties. They're working to resolve them, but for now, that is why you're seeing us here in LA. Meantime, an LAPD officer at the center of a revenge porn investigation has been criminally charged. Brady Lamas is charged with 6 misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct by distributing multiple private intimate images without consent. Between December 2021 and January 2022, Lamas is accused of sending intimate photos to others, including fellow officers. Lamas has been assigned home since January 31st, pending an internal investigation. He is scheduled to be arraigned next week.
Hanukkah, just a few days away, but celebrations are coming at a time when anti-Semitism and hate crimes are reaching the highest numbers LA County has seen in 2 decades. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Haskell has more on the alarming trend and what's being done to address it.
As Los Angeles' Jewish community prepares to celebrate the start of Hanukkah this Sunday, they do so under a drastic rise in anti-Semitism, which has many in the community fearing for their safety. According to the LAPD, anti-Semitic crimes have risen 12% in 2022 compared to last year.
We think in Los Angeles, liberal Los Angeles, this is unthinkable. Obviously, it is not.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass standing with the Jewish community, saying she'll work tirelessly to combat anti-Semitism and hate of any kind against any group in our diverse city.
I grew up in the Jewish community in the Fairfax district, and I cherish those deep connections that go all the way back to my childhood. I've seen both the beauty of sharing faith traditions and the problems that come when people demonize each other for what they believe in.
According to LA County's most recent hate crime report, the number of reported hate crimes rose to 786 in 2021. The highest in nearly 20 years. The Black, Asian, Latino, and LGBTQ communities have all been targets, and the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles wants everyone in Southern California to know that hate of any kind won't be tolerated.
I would ask that during Hanukkah, during Kwanzaa, during the holiday celebration, when we all gather, that we have those conversations about what love looks like, how we can manifest love and light, not only among your civic leaders, but in our individual homes.
We stand here on the cusp of Hanukkah, I hope, and I pray to rededicate ourselves to building a city full of love and life, of fellowship, and that we understand that a true redemption as a city will only come when we realize that there's more that unites us than what divides us.
The overall message this holiday season on hate crimes is that words matter and can lead to violence. So we all need to embrace and celebrate those who are different. In downtown Los Angeles, Josh Haskell, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Josh, thank you. And still ahead on Eyewitness News at 5.
A serial killer sentenced in Orange County, the powerful impact statements given today by loved ones of his victims.
Plus, they plan to help kidnap a sitting U.S. governor. What we're learning about the 3 men convicted in the Gretchen Whitmer plot.
And a deadly tornado tears through Louisiana, the powerful storm sweeping across the south.
Hi, everyone. I'm meteorologist Dallas Rays. I'm tracking some Santa Ana winds. The forecast is next.
A quick message to viewers watching in Fresno. ABC-30 viewers are seeing us here in LA due to some technical difficulties. They're working to resolve them, but for now, that is why you are seeing us here in Los Angeles. In other news, the House committee investigating the January 6th insurrection will hold its final hearing on Monday. Committee Chairman Benny Thompson says the panel will make criminal referrals to the Justice Department recommending prosecution. But the committee has not disclosed whether former President Trump would be among them. The 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans have focused their investigation on Trump and efforts by the former president in the weeks before the attack to overturn the 2020 election. The committee is expected to release its final report on Wednesday.
Now to the sentencing of 3 men arrested in the plot to kidnap and murder Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. In a recorded message played in court, she called their actions, quote, a threat to democracy itself. As ABC's Justin Finch reports, all 3 spoke out today in court.
some remorse in a Michigan courtroom today.
Your Honor, I had a lapse in judgment.
Where 3 men learned how long they would serve in prison after being convicted for their roles in the foiled plot to kidnap and kill Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
If I could, Your Honor, I'd take it all back.
The men found guilty of providing material support for a terrorist act they hope would spark a civil war. Joe Morrison now set to serve 10 years in prison. His father-in-law, Pete Musico, sentenced to 12 years, and Paul Ballar ordered to serve 7 years.
If I had known about the plot actually being a serious thing, I wouldn't have been.
All three were part of the paramilitary group called the Wolverine Watchmen, and though none had a direct role in...
Warren, stand by.
All right.
Go.
Good afternoon, everyone, and good evening to you. I'm Warren Armstrong in the ABC-30 studios. And first of all, let me apologize because a power outage knocked ABC-30 off the air this afternoon, and we're still working on shoestrings right now. Let me give you some of the details as to what took place. Bear with me here. A power outage again knocked ABC-30 off the air this evening. PG&E says the outage was reported around 4:33 in downtown Fresno. The outage is currently impacting more than 700 customers in the downtown area. It's unknown exactly when the power will be restored, but PG&E is now exploring and looking into this massive power outage. The cause of the outage, again, still under investigation right now. Now, I was in the ABC-30 studios when the power did go out around 4:33 this afternoon, and I can tell you things were pitch black in here. But within a heartbeat or two, our generator kicked in and gave us some power. Unfortunately, it knocked off our ability to go live to all of you watching our 4 o'clock newscast. And again, right now, we would be on Action News live at 5. But again, the power outage is hampering our efforts to bring you news as we usually do at 4 and 5 o'clock. We'll see what happens at 5:30, and hopefully PG&E is on this and getting this handled. Once again, the power has been knocked off in downtown Fresno, a large area. We're told that the IRS is also among those businesses or those companies, etc., who have lost power in the downtown area. This is affecting an area mostly of West Fresno, of downtown. It's dipping into the downtown area and possibly into the Highway 99 area to the west. We're located on G Street in downtown Fresno, near H, and also near Stanislaus. Again, the situation is still being investigated. PG&E is en route by now. Hopefully they've found the problems. The cause not known at this time, although there has been some information on the scanners as to what may have happened, but nothing right now that we can confirm to you as to why this power outage is taking place. For those of you watching, we want to say thank you for sticking with ABC-30 through this power outage as I try to explain what's going on right now and the problems that we're having getting our newscast back to you. Also want to say thank you right now to our cast members, fellow cast members, and our co-workers at KABC in Los Angeles. Thanks to them, we were able to put their newscast on ABC-30, and the anchors there, the folks at KABC, were able to explain to you exactly what took place, that there was indeed a power outage here at KFSN TV, ABC-30, and in the downtown area of Fresno. And we want to thank them for explaining all that to all of you and bringing you news, obviously, from California and from Southern California. But we appreciate their efforts to let you know what happened here at ABC-30. If you're just tuning in to find out what's going on at 5:13 in the evening with ABC-30 and why you weren't able to see Vanessa Vasconcelos and Dale Urong give you all the news and Kevin Musso give you all the weather about what was going on during our 4 o'clock newscast, let me once again explain to you that a power outage knocked ABC-30 off the air this evening. PG&E says the outage was reported around 4:33 this afternoon. The outage is currently impacting some 700 customers in the area. It's unknown when power will actually be fully restored to the West Fresno area where Action News and ABC-30 is located on G Street. The cause of this outage, again, is still under investigation. Our news director, Martin Ortiz, is with us right now. Martin, I can't read the information you have for me. He's giving me some new information. I'm sorry, I can't.
We have brand new information.
We have brand new information. Thank you. Again, thanks for bearing with us through all this, folks. We sure appreciate it. We're understanding now that there is a wire down that's near the cross streets of Kearney and Trinity in Fresno. We're waiting to hear the exact cause. The circuit breaker is closed with only 45 customers remaining affected, and apparently ABC-30 is among those 45 customers. Again, the wire is down near the cross streets of Kearney and Trinity. So at least we have a little bit of information right now about why this took place. That apparently some power lines are down. They must be major power lines to have knocked out this many customers in West Fresno and in the Fresno downtown area. Again, this is in the area of Kearney and Trinity. Excuse me. Thank you very much, Vanessa, for that up-to-date information. And we'll take a look and see what we have also going. We'll try to get to those stories in just a few minutes. If you'll bear with me, I'll repeat this information one more time to you. Power outage knocking ABC-30 off the air this Thursday evening. PG&E saying the outage was reported around 4:33 in downtown Fresno. The outage currently impacting at one time 700 customers. There are now less than that. It is now down to, what, about 45, Vanessa, from what we understand in the affected area. The cause still under investigation, but we understand there are power lines down at Trinity and Kearney. The exact cause of why those power lines came down, we don't know at this time. But hopefully we'll get that information soon from PG&E. They're on the case. They're trying to find out what is taking place. Let me get some more information pulled up here. Like many of you, I'm on my phone right now trying to get some more information too about what's going on. Let me get some of these other stories pulled up to you. One of the big stories going on right now, I will get to this in just a moment, and Vanessa has some more information for me as we speak.
That's one of the top stories.
All right, thank you very much, Vanessa, appreciate that. While we wait to find out more information about this power outage, let me get this information to you. This is one of the top stories we're following right now here at Action News. Several people out of their apartments after an overnight car crash in Clovis. It happened before 12:30 Thursday morning on Villa and Alamos. Police say the driver went off the road and into the corner of an apartment, hitting the main power unit. A woman was in the apartment when the vehicle struck the building, but she is okay now. The crash caused 6 apartments to lose their power. Wouldn't you know it? They lost their power too. The driver's condition unknown at this time, but the driver was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence. Officials say the building is unlivable due to the damage. PG&E workers boarded up that building and they stabilized the structure. Also, one of the other big stories going right now, we have a big weather alert going on. We have a freeze warning once again in effect tonight for Central California. Once again, temperatures will be dipping down into the 30s and beyond. If Kevin Musa was on the air right now, he'd be telling you all about an AccuWeather alert because of those freeze warnings. And Kevin, as I understand, the freeze warnings have been extended, correct?
Through Monday.
Through Monday now. It looked like it was going to get a little bit warmer over the weekend. That's now not going to happen. The freeze warning has been extended now into Monday. So again, some dangerous cold temperatures going below freezing for this week. And for this weekend, again, as Kevin says, extended into Monday. Temperatures dipping down into the 30s, below freezing, into the 20s, into the outlying areas. And of course, much colder up in the Sierra. One of the big stories we've been following, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to have a little sip of water right now. And this is a terrible, terrible story that Action News has been following in the past couple of days. And this is regarding the arrest of a Fresno man for the murder of his sister and her unborn baby. If you'll excuse me. Let me give you the updated news regarding that story. The man accused of stabbing his sister and her unborn baby to death has now been charged with their murders. The charges happening today. Court records show that 41-year-old Aaron Dudley has been charged with 2 counts of murder for the stabbing death of his 8-month pregnant sister, and that would be 26-year-old Nakaya Rebecca Logan. The stabbing happened at an apartment complex off Cornelia and Parkway Avenues on Tuesday afternoon. Officials with the Fresno Police Department say Dudley stabbed Logan several times before putting her body into a garbage bin. After pushing the garbage bin to a nearby dirt road, investigators say Dudley poured gasoline on Logan and set her on fire. Maintenance workers at the apartment complex found Logan's body and called police. Authorities have not yet released a motive for the deadly stabbing. Dudley remains in custody at the Fresno County Jail on 2 murder charges. Also updating that story tonight, Action News anchor Brittany Jacob spoke with the mother of the victim. A very emotional interview took place today, and we hope to bring you that interview with her, talking about her last moments with her daughter before her murder. Again, a very emotional interview that we hope to bring you on Action News later this evening, and hopefully once we get power back to us. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, well, this is what we're finding out right now about this power outage. Again, we told you that we understand that there is a wire down, a major power line down at Kearney and Trinity. Again, waiting to find out more of the cause. The circuit breaker is closed, and at the last report, we understand there were about 45 customers remaining that were affected. But right now, we're finding out more information that indeed it does look like vandalism is the cause for those power lines to be down. Let me get you up to date. If you're just tuning in, I'm Warren Armstrong, everybody, from Action News, letting you know what is taking place in downtown Fresno and to the west of us in downtown Fresno. There was a major power outage. PG&E says the power went down in West Fresno around 4:33 this afternoon. It affected about 700 customers initially. We understand that number has now been narrowed, but ABC-30, among those businesses, those residents, those businesses that were affected by this major power outage, it knocked us off the air. We do have a backup generator that's working right now, but apparently there are more problems taking place. Again, trying to get all of our equipment, very, of course, technical equipment, back up and getting our newscast onto you. I'm just glad we're able to be here right now and give you some information about what's going on. So we do understand that PG&E is on the case right now. Pardon me. And they have found out that vandalism apparently appears to be the cause. What do you have for me right now, Vanessa?
AccuWeather alert in place.
The more alert, yes, we had that a little bit earlier. We'll get back to that in just a moment. Okay, we will be doing that shortly. But again, we want to appreciate, or at least say grant our appreciation to all of you for tuning in right now and being here with us at 5:21 in the evening. We've been knocked off now for almost about an hour, at least the power outage taking place for almost an hour, going out at 4:33 in the afternoon. Again, some 700 customers affected, including ABC-30, and we hope to get that full newscast back to you later this evening. And let me give you a little bit more information about what's going on. Well, it's not going to work right now. We'll get that in just a few moments. I see more of our technical equipment starting to work again, so that's a really good sign that we'll have our newscast working for you once again. Again, we're trying to get more information from PG&E, but again, it sounds like things are we're getting some power back to the folks who were affected in downtown Fresno, and we hope to have Action News back on the air, the full staff of Action News coming to you later this evening. In the meantime, we also again want to say thank you to our co-workers and our friends at KABC in Los Angeles for being able to help us out and let you know what's going on. Again, I'm Warren Armstrong. We're going to go back to our friends at KABC right now in Los Angeles as they provide you with more news with what's happening in the state of California. Thank you everyone for watching.
A message to viewers watching in Fresno. ABC-30 viewers are seeing us here in LA due to some technical difficulties. They're working to resolve them, but for now, that is why you're seeing us here in Los Angeles.
A San Francisco couple is currently stuck in Peru as that country deals with massive civil unrest. They went there on vacation, but now they're struggling to find a way back home. Ryan Curry from our sister station KGO spoke with them about how they're trying to escape.
These photos show a blocked train path leading to the town where Diane Tao and her boyfriend Sal Morales are currently staying in Peru. According to them, it is the only way in and out.
We don't know what's going to happen, and then getting the photos that the train tracks are, just broken and damaged. Now people are starting to freak out.
The two of them went to Peru on vacation right before the unrest broke out. Now they are stuck.
The only way out is through Cusco and then to Lima to get back home to San Francisco.
Hi, good evening. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Musso here at ABC 30. Earlier in the newscast at 4 o'clock, the downtown area was subject to some power outages, and so we are in the process of bringing everything back up here at ABC 30. And as you can see behind me, I do have storm warn 30. So I do want to pass along a little bit of weather information because there is some vital information about the morning hours and also you planning your run up to the holidays that's coming. So we are looking at storm warn 30 imagery here. Clouds that you've been seeing, you may be thinking, hey, are those rainmakers? They're not. They're coming in from the southwest, high clouds, cirrus clouds, made for a beautiful sunset for tonight. And we do have a weather feature out here in the Pacific that's just spinning around by itself, and that is going to be generating clouds but not a rainmaker. We've got a ridge of high pressure up here in an area where we always look for winter storms, so we're going to be waiting for a while before things change. Really, for the foreseeable future, this blocking ridge will prevent us from seeing any more storms like the 2 or 3 that just came through that were very impressive. It was so nice to get that early season installment of snow in the mountains. And do you know the snowpack right now in the southern Sierra Nevada is right around 203% when you look at all 3 zones from north, central, and the south end. Freeze warning is in effect for tonight. This is the warning that we have been sharing with you each evening and also with Maddie in the morning shows. Temperatures as low as 1 or 2 degrees below freezing for maybe 2 or 3 hours in the morning hours. And then, of course, in the afternoon, it's warming up to about the mid-50s the way things have been going. The only exception is the city of Fresno because the urban heat island is preventing it from being in the sub-freezing range. And these are the real conditions right now. We're getting some data streaming in, even though we were without power for a little while. If you're just tuning in to ABC 30, we are gradually coming back together inside the building here after suffering a power outage in downtown Fresno. And we're getting details of what might have been the cause or source of that too. We have upper 40s around the valley floor right now with a 48 in Visalia, 47 in Madera, 51 in Fresno. And of course, as quickly as we're going to cool, we're going to be looking at the potential for some fog in the morning hours. We are missing our downtown Fresno view there. That obviously is subject to the power outage in the Security Bank building in downtown Fresno. Air quality forecast for tomorrow is for unhealthy for sensitive range for Fresno. And don't forget, the no burn status is declared last night at midnight. It's being re-upped again tomorrow, so we'll be back to that no burn status. Air quality index of 105. These are your skies above Fresno for tonight. Partly cloudy, 34 for Fresno, so not really a big change. Maybe 1 or 2 degrees in most areas, but you will see a couple of 20s that are back here on the forecast for the valley floor, outlying areas just below. That's the sub-freezing portion of things. And as we look into tomorrow, sunshine and cool conditions will continue as well. I'm going to give you a quick peek at the 7-day forecast here, and then I'm going to toss it back to my colleague Warren Armstrong. It's going to be dry all the way into the weekend, but not as cold next week. Warren, back to you.
Kevin, thank you very much. I want to get you updated, everybody, on what's happening with this power outage in downtown Fresno, which knocked out power to ABC 30 at about 4:33 this afternoon. If you were watching Action News Live at 4, you saw the screen go dark. Again, the power got knocked off Thursday evening, according to PG&E, around 4:33 in downtown Fresno. The initial outage hit 700 customers, including ABC 30. We understand now that PG&E is on the scene, on the case, and that 45 customers remain without power. We're currently on generator here at ABC 30. Now, it's not known exactly when power will be restored to the entire area. We do understand that PG&E is saying that it appears to be vandalism. We now go to World News Tonight with David Muir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Warren Armstrong, and welcome to, and thanks for joining us for Action News Live at 6. Although it's going to be a little bit different Action newscast than perhaps you've seen in the past. It's going to be more like Action News radio with pictures, if you will. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's get right to our top story. Happening now, a major power outage knocked off ABC 30 and a number of other businesses in the downtown Fresno area. This power outage happened around 4:33 this afternoon, right in the middle of Action News Live at 4. It affected, according to PG&E, some 700 customers initially. We're told now by PG&E that number has now narrowed down to about 45 customers in the downtown Fresno area and west of downtown Fresno. An investigation is on now as to just find out what happened. How did this power outage take place? Again, that knocked out power to ABC-30, although we're working on, if you will, some bare bones power right now to get this information to you on Action News. The cause, they believe, may be a tree trimmer. That's what we're being told right now. It appears to be a tree trimmer may have cut into some power lines at Kearney and Trinity, west of downtown. That may be what happened. The tree trimmer cut into those power lines, knocking out power to a huge area of downtown Fresno, and again, including ABC-30, where we're located on G Street between H and Stanislaus. Now, when that happened at 4:33, our studios went pitch black. Our generator kicked in, provided some power to us, enough that we're being able to do this right now, but we're still experiencing some very technical issues. Of course, here at this TV station, we have a lot of very high-tech equipment, and we're trying to get that equipment working once again, trying to get to the bottom of the problems that we're having right now about getting our full Action News cast to you this evening. But we do appreciate you tuning in to watch us at this time as we try to get some information to you again. We want to say thank you, first of all, for sticking with us through all this, and thank you to our fellow employees of the Disney Corporation, the Disney Company down at KABC in Los Angeles, for filling you in when we were off the air. We were able to put them on the air, and they were able to tell you about what was happening here at ABC-30. Once again, the power went off around 4:33 this afternoon, according to PG&E, because it appears to be someone cut into the power lines at this time, and we're trying to get things fixed right now. We have several stories we want to tell you about, including our top story right now, a freeze warning taking place. It's been extended in the Central California area. Let's go to my colleague and Chief Meteorologist Kevin Musso for an update on that freeze warning. Kevin?
One other thing, too, since it's so cold down in the valley, it's helping out up at the China Peak Resort because afternoon highs in the 30s keeps the snow from melting too quickly. And California's snowpack is over 200% of normal. So 37, 39, and 38, these are not lows. These are the afternoon highs. But for the foreseeable future, we're going to be seeing quiet and dry conditions. We have a weather system out here that's a cutoff from the jet stream. You see the jet stream is now moving way up in the northern Pacific. So rather than having cold Pacific lows this time of year, diving down and into California, parked right in front of that alleyway is this ridge of high pressure that will block everything away for the time being. It is feasible that we might go all the way through to the end of the year and not have any more rain in the till. We'll be waiting until January after the 1st to see a change. Tomorrow morning, we expect temperatures to be just as cold in the outlying areas. So briefly, by briefly, I mean 2 or 3 hours possibly, hovering around just below or around freezing temperatures. And we have a little bit of fog that just popped up here. We're going to zoom in on that just a little bit closer. And in the background, you can see a little patch of gray there along Highway 198. This is the 41 and 43 right in here. So it looks like some early evening debut of fog in the south end of the valley. Temperatures today not far from the averages except for that morning low of 35 in Fresno. And if it's that cold in Fresno, the rural areas of the valley could easily be in the upper 20s. And this is the reason why each day we've been carrying over the freeze warning from earlier. And indeed, we already see temperatures in the mid 40s in the outlying areas as well. As we check out the current conditions at the airport, we're at 9 miles visibility and little or no wind. Air quality status is unhealthy for sensitive individuals. And here's a quick look at your 7-day forecast where we still have the AccuWeather alerts into the weekend. And then as we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, look what has reappeared in our afternoons, 60s, low 60s possible for what will be Christmas weekend. 62 for Christmas Eve and 60 for Christmas Day. I'm going to toss it now over to Action News anchor Margot Kim.
Thank you, Kevin. We wanted to bring you an update on some of the top stories that we've been tracking for you throughout the day. This particular story has certainly gained statewide and nationwide attention, and it is such a tragedy over the holidays. But we wanted to bring you an update about this particular story. The man accused of stabbing his sister and her unborn baby to death has now been charged in their murders. Court records show 41-year-old Aaron Dudley was charged with 2 counts of murder in the stabbing deaths of his 8-month pregnant sister, Nikia Rebecca Logan, and her unborn baby. This happened at an apartment complex off Cornelia and Parkway Avenues on Tuesday afternoon. We've certainly been tracking this story for you since it happened. The Fresno Police Department says Dudley stabbed his sister several times before putting her in a garbage bin and then pushing that garbage bin to a dirt road and setting his sister on fire. Maintenance workers at that apartment complex discovered the crime scene, and that's when they called police. Authorities have not yet released a motive on this deadly stabbing, and Dudley now remains in the Fresno County Jail, again on those 2 counts of murder. Our Action News crew has been tracking this story, and we have updates coming up on later editions of Action News after speaking with the families, loved ones, and friends, and they tell us and share their heartbreak about what has happened to their loved ones, Nikia Rebecca Logan and her brother, who is now charged with the murders of his sister and unborn baby. As we continue to bring you news in this untraditional way because of our power outage, again, I want to reiterate our gratitude to you for sticking with us, as my colleague Warren Armstrong has indicated. And we will be right back with more Action News. Stay.
Welcome back to Action News Live at 6. Good evening, everybody. I'm Warren Armstrong, and this is Action News Live at 6. But as my colleague Margot Kim said so eloquently, it's a kind of a non-traditional Action News Live at 6, and that's because of a major power outage. What happened about an hour and a half ago in the downtown area of Fresno, knocked out power in a downtown area to the west of downtown, initially knocking out some 700 customers, including ABC-30. Now, we understand that about 45 customers are still without power. As we're working to get our power back up, all of our equipment working once again here at ABC-30, we're trying to give you the day's news and information to keep you informed. That includes the big football game coming up this weekend. The Bulldogs, Fresno State, in the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl against Washington State. Joining me now is sports anchor Alec Nolan with more about the Bulldogs on Saturday, the game you'll see right here on ABC-30. Alec?
Hey, Warren, yeah, as you just said, we are only 48 hours, well, less than 48 hours away now from kickoff. Fresno State facing Pac-12 Washington State. They're coming in at 7-5, the Dogs 9-4. And as you said, non-traditional in this broadcast, their path to this bowl game has also been non-traditional. They started 1-4. They have rolled off 8 in a row. If they win on Saturday, they would be the first team to start 1-4 and then finish 10-4. So they're trying to do something historical, and it's really a tale of 2 different teams. Washington State is going to have 8 players not playing or in the transfer portal. Some guys sitting, waiting for the NFL draft. Meanwhile, Fresno State fully back and healthy. They've got quarterback Jay Kaner back, Jalen Moreno-Cropper, of course, the Parleader native, Buchanan grad, and then running back Jordan Mims. So everybody is pretty much at full strength. They're ready to go, but they're also having fun this week, as we saw them last night on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. And then today, they got to meet at Universal Studios. Stephen Hicks, our sports director, of course, has been following them all week. We were going to go live to him, but as we just mentioned, with this power outage, we're not able to do that. But he's been covering the team all week. Hopefully by 11 o'clock, we'll have something for you guys, and you'll get to see what it looks like over there. And they're playing at SoFi Stadium. This is a $5.5 billion facility, state-of-the-art, really nothing like it. So a lot of Red Wave fans ready to go down and watch that game. And they're trying to see the Bulldogs do something that they've never done before. And something that'll be interesting as well, this is the 3rd Pac-12 team they've had to play. So whether or not it can be 3rd times the charm, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, they lost on the last play to Oregon State at Valley Children's Stadium, and then they ended up playing USC at the Coliseum. That a game many people wanted to forget. Quarterback Jay Kaner goes out with injury. Safety Evan Williams goes out with injury. And then the Dogs go on that losing streak. They go all the way to UConn, traveling 3,000 miles, losing that game. and then that's when the winning streak started, and that's why they're here right now. So it's really been a miraculous season. We saw last week Mayor Jerry Dyer of Fresno making it a proclamation, the Bulldog Fresno State Football Day. So everybody is really in on this week. And I think this week, although they have business to do and all this is a business trip, at the end of the day, this could be a really great run for them, a fun experience for them. And we'll get to see what happens come Saturday. Of course, you don't have to go very far to watch it. You can watch it right here on ABC-30, December 17th at 12:30. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Alec, thanks very much. Sure looks like they were having a ball last night with Jimmy Kimmel. They were there at the show. Looked like a good time. All right, want to get you caught up once again as to what's taking place here in downtown Fresno. We're dealing with the fallout of a power outage that happened at 4:33 this afternoon, right in the middle of Action News Live at 4. Some of our equipment is still working. Some of it is not. We're still trying to get things powered up, but that's what happened. There was a major power outage. PG&E is investigating. PG&E is working on it right now. We understand, at least according to their initial investigation, that a tree trimmer may have cut into power lines at Trinity and Kearney west of Fresno. That caused a power outage that reached, again, initially 700 customers, now down to about 45 customers without power. Among those customers who lost power, of course, as I told you, ABC-30, but also the IRS. We had an unconfirmed report that there were some people stuck in elevators over at the IRS when the power went out. Everybody here at ABC-30 is doing just fine, except, of course, scrambling because we want to bring you the news. We're right in the middle of Action News Live at 6 right now. Alec was talking about the Bulldogs down at Southern California at SoFi Stadium. They're going to have great weather, it sounds like, but here in Fresno and Central California, we're dealing with an extended freeze warning. Here's Chief Meteorologist Kevin Musso right now to tell you more about that. Kevin?
When the dogs go bowling, these sports folks here in the building start saying, hey, what's the weather like, especially if it's an outdoor event. I'm taking you up, as you can see, I have the helm here of Storm Warn 30 to the Yosemite Conservancy Cam, where the early morning sun captured at 8 a.m. this beautiful view of Half Dome. And indeed, as the sun marched across the Sierra, clouds rest in the background. You can see there is a tremendous amount of snow up here, and it would be a shame to have too many days go by without putting fresh new snow on it so we don't lose what's there now, because it has a high water content too. This is actually from the California Snow Survey for today. We have 201% of normal in our mountains as you look at it as a collective, as a whole, from north to central to south. So pretty impressive. Now, the immediate forecast doesn't call for any storms. They won't come in before Christmas, and we may be waiting between Christmas and New Year's to even get there. So the cold will continue. We're going to be watching, of course, for fog in the morning hours. We're already seeing evidence right down here in the north end of Kings County along the 198 corridor that a little bit of fog is beginning to brew there. So we'll be watching that very, very closely. Now, breaking down that 7-day forecast, notice these banners. These are the AccuWeather alert banners. That's because of those freezing temperatures in the morning. But as we ramp up to the big weekend, Christmas weekend that's on the way pretty soon, we're going to be talking about temperatures in the 60s with overnights in the 40s. Of course, we're going to be giving you more information as we go for here in this special edition of Action News at 6. We have details of the power outage and effects on our newscast. We'll be back.
Welcome back to this edition of Action News Live at 6. We're here in our studio bringing you as much news as we possibly can after a major power outage in downtown Fresno. We are located on G Street in downtown, and a possible unintentional, accidental power outage happened this morning, and that's why we're coming to you in this very non-traditional way. Let me give you an update now on exactly what's happening in downtown Fresno. PG&E is looking into this power outage that happened about an hour and a half to a couple hours ago this afternoon, knocked out the power completely to our studios. Our generators fired up as much equipment as possible, and we are still working feverishly to get the rest of it online and and bringing you as much news as we can with limited capability until all our systems come back online. We have been told that it may have been an accidental cutting of wires by a tree trimmer somewhere in downtown, and this cut power near Kearney Boulevard and Trinity Street. That's where this power outage happened, and then spread to about 700 customers, and just maybe a few dozen are still left to get back online. Let's get you to one of our top stories that we've been tracking throughout this week and certainly today. That absolute tragic story of a pregnant woman found dead, her body on fire, and now her own brother charged in her murder. Our Action News reporter Brittany Jacob is live in downtown Fresno with what she's learned about this tragic case today after speaking to the victim's mother. Brittany?
It was a very emotional day today. You know, today I got a chance to sit with Nakaya's family, and as they were coping and processing through the devastating loss of their daughter, Nakaya Logan, you know, today her mother, Donna Barkis, was surrounded by people who loved her, and she told me today that friends and family, that's what's keeping her hope. We had the opportunity again to chat with her today, and I'm gonna reach down and grab my computer so you can see, you can hear just a few words from her mother today.
Ready for the baby. We all were ready for little Noah. Now there's no little Noah, or there's no Nakaya. It feels awful. It feels like it's not real. I wouldn't wish this on nobody.
Now, those were just a few of the words from her mother today. We were able to sit with the family again for about 20 minutes, and just to kind of remind you a little bit about the stories, detectives believe that Dudley, her 41-year-old brother, Aaron Dudley, stabbed Logan and her unborn child numerous times, and they say that he then put her body in a trash can and set it on fire. Barkis, again, the mother, tells me that she is in shock and she is barely able to function. She says that she could have never imagined her son doing such a thing. And she goes on to even talk about what happened on last Sunday. The family threw Nakaya a baby shower, and we have pictures that we'll show you at some point today, but it was a sea full of blue for baby Noah. It was going to be a boy, and her mother says that, just describing Nakaya as a beautiful spirit, her loving her family, being very trusting, and she ended with saying that she loved God. And Barkis, the mother, also tells me that Nakaya loved to dance, and in fact that she really pushed her to be very successful. She had completed her early childhood education program at Fresno City College to become a teacher's assistant, and she was in the midst of doing homework. And so her mother also says that, you know, she's just trying to survive. She's taking it one day at a time, that she still loves her son. She does not love his actions, but she still loves her son, and she loves her daughter, and she's always going to remember her sweet girl Nakaya and her future grandson Noah. Margot, Warren, back to you.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much. A highly emotional and disturbing story that has certainly shocked our community and even rocked the toughest of cops at Fresno PD. We have more Action News coming up for you. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to our unique edition of Action News at 6. We've experienced a power failure in downtown Fresno, so we have limited resources, but we do have important information to pass along. Air quality forecast for tomorrow is unhealthy for sensitive individuals. 34, a low for Fresno tonight. This will promote fog and frost once again. Many parts of the valley in those upper 20s to low 30s for a duration of 2 or 3 hours early tomorrow morning. Some high clouds back in our skies. It kind of looks stormy for today, but these are not rainmakers that are coming in. It's just clouds that are being spun in our direction from a cutoff area of low pressure offshore. So the weather is going to be status quo for a while. We're still looking at temperatures in the upper 40s to 50s, overnights in the 20s. And for the higher Sierra, it'll be quiet for the time being, albeit very cold. teens and 20s in some spots. As we roll into the 7-day forecast, it still is going to be cold in the morning hours, cold enough that we have the freeze warnings that will be in place until early Monday morning. And looking out to Christmas weekend, we're going to actually warm up to around the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. I'm going to hand it back over to Warren.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. A chilly evening. Bundle up out there. Get you caught up quickly on our top story tonight, the power outage in downtown Fresno that initially knocked out power to 700 customers. Only about 45 customers are still impacted by that power outage. ABC-30, of course, among those. We're still working to get all of our systems here rebooted so we can get our normal newscasts and our normal programming back on the air for you. Again, we appreciate you so much for tuning in and watching this, again, unusual, non-traditional newscast tonight, but we did want to get on the air and give you information about what was happening across Central California tonight. And you know, I don't think we say it enough, but we have been #1 for decades, and there's a reason why we've been #1 for decades. It's because of all of you who tune in every night to watch us bring you news and information here in Central California.